guys, welcome back. So I'm going into this Valentine's look with this nice kind of creamsicle shade. I'm going to be using the Morphe 35B palette throughout this entire video on the eyes, and I do have a discount code for Morphe. It's Babsbeauty, as we all know. I've been trying to get more into the palettes because I feel like I've been neglecting them. So now I'm going to go into this kind of pinky purple shade. These colors are so bright and beautiful. I was talking about this before. I just feel like this is so much nicer than some of the other high-end palettes that I've used, like the Urban Decay, I think it's the Full Spectrum palette. I was disappointed, and this one is so much better. This is an alternative if you want some really bright colors. These are matte too. Most of them are. So it's really nice, I find, to use mattes just all over the eye, and then you can put like a sparkly color on the lid or anything you want to do. So I just smoked that on my outer V, and then I'm using this deeper kind of magenta color, and I'm using a smaller brush to really add depth on the outer corner. Really, you're just going to kind of focus most of the color on the outer corner and then just keep blending. You want to kind of pack these on and blend so you can get the intensity. And then I went into the Anastasia Moonchild palette, and I went in with Pink Heart, and I wasn't feeling it. You'll see in this clips I was like, you can tell I'm like, damn, did I just mess that up? So I fixed it in the end, but I was wanting more of a pink sheen, and it wasn't what I expected. It almost was just kind of like a chunky white. So I fixed it later, but I went in with some liner. So I'm going in with some winged liner, and I just showed it in real time, kind of how I take my time. I use my Artist of Makeup pen. I think I ended up showing both eyes too. I don't know why, I just felt like I needed to. But once I put the liner on, I felt like the Anastasia highlight wasn't as harsh on my eyelid, but I do add something to it in the end because I just felt like it looked a little chalky, to be honest. I'm not overly in love with that palette. I just feel like there's better highlighters that are kind of holographic. So now I'm going in with some pure lashes. These are brand new in the style Flirt, and I really love these. I like ones that are like kind of thick and then thin. They're kind of spaced out. I don't like a thick band all the way around. So I applied those. I'm going to apply some concealer. I'm using my Tarte Shape Tape. I'm going to apply this on my chin and my upper lip and under my eyes. I don't always apply it on my chin and upper lip, but if I'm doing like a full glam and I really want to highlight, I do. So I'm doing that, and then I'm going to blend it out with a damp beauty blender. And I sped this part up because, let's be real, this is going to be pretty boring. So I'm just going to blend everything out to make sure it's all seamless. And I am using, I believe I was using the shade Fair or Light because I really wanted to brighten up, and I'm not using a brightening powder per se under the eyes. So I'm just going to blend that out, and you'll see me doing some kind of fine tuning, just making sure that everything is kind of smoothed out and there's no harsh edges. And then I'm going to go in with my new favorite powder. This is the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder. Absolutely love it. I still love the Laura Mercier Translucent, but I like this better. I don't know, it's just so nice. So I'm going to bake with that, and then I'm using this new powder that I mentioned. Did I mention this in my favorites? I really love it. This is the Hot Makeup USA Red Carpet Ready foundation, and I'm just going to stipple this on with a damp beauty blender, and I found that that really locks in your foundation. So if you're having problems with your foundation moving, this would help. Just use your damp beauty blender and stipple your powder to set your foundation. Now I'm going in with my Tarteist. This is the Sculpt shade from the Pro Glow palette, and I'm using a Marc Jacobs brush. I've had this forever and I just don't ever use it, and I'm trying to get outside the box and use different contours, but here I am again using a Tarte one. I just feel like Tarte really does really good with contours. So now I'm going in and bronzing up with my Guerlain. This is that bronzer I mentioned in my favorites. And I'm going to just kind of bronze up a little bit on the cheeks and the forehead, and maybe a little bit under the chin. This is a really light bronzer, so it's just kind of subtle. And then I'm going in with my favorite yellow powder from the Morphe Desi Danger palette. And I slowed this down. I'm just going to carve underneath my cheekbones just to really make sure my contour is sharp. And then here I'm adding a pigment. This is from Peaches Makeup. And I'm adding just a little bit to that lid because I just felt like it looked a little bit ashy and white. So hopefully this brought just a little bit of glimmer back. And now I'm going to wipe away the powder that I was baking with. You can see it really sharpened up my contour, and my eyes underneath are super bright and just look really nice and awake. And then I'm going to go into this Marc Jacobs blush. I've had these and I've been neglecting them. Again, I was trying to get some new products out that I have just been sitting around. So I think I forget the name of this color, but it will be in the description bar. So I'm just gonna apply that to the apples of my cheeks, and I'm gonna go back into this palette. I'm going into this pinky shade, and I'm gonna start working this on the lower lash line. I am using a pencil brush from Morphe, so I'm gonna take my time with this. I'm gonna do maybe 4 layers. You can see me just really smoking this out. I'm gonna go about 3/4 of the way in to my lower lash line. We're just gonna build up this color. I just think these blend really nicely. I didn't have any problems with them at all, and these are really bright, intense colors. But don't be afraid of them because I really feel that they're wearable and they're really beautiful if you can do it right. And then I'm gonna go back into that kind of magenta color. We're just gonna deepen up a little bit. And that's basically it. It's pretty easy on the eyes, not too much going on. And then I'm gonna go into my new favorite setting spray. This is that 77 Cosmetics Natural Glow. And I'm going to spray my face. Usually I would do this at the end, but I've been doing this to apply highlight. So I'm going back into that pink heart because I wanted a pink highlight with this. And I am going to use that on the tops of my cheekbones, and I do it when my face is still damp from that setting powder, and it just kind of really grabs on and looks really intense. Or you can just spray your brush before, it's up to you. So I applied it to my Cupid's bow, and then I also decided to apply it to my inner corner because you guys know I love doing that. And then I'm gonna go on to lips. I'm using a Tarte lip liner. I will put it down below. This is actually another favorite of mine. I got this in a PR package and I just happened to use it recently and I've fallen in love with the color. It's just a really pretty pinky flesh tone. So I'm applying that all over my lips, and I already have my lip stain on the inner portion of my lips. And then I'm gonna go in with this Lipland lipstick. Can't exactly remember the name, but you guys know I link everything, so it'll be in the down bar below. This is a new one to me as well. They sent me this in PR, and this is not my typical shade, but I thought it was really beautiful for a Valentine's look, so I thought I needed to kind of get out of my nudes and go into something a little bit more rosy, a little bit more girly and feminine. And then I decided I felt like it just needed a little pizzazz, so I'm going in with this Lancome Metal Gloss. And this is like the nude shade they have. And at first I was like, ooh, this is a bad idea. But once I blended it out, it looked so stunning, and I just think it just made the look finished. So that completes the look. I hope you guys enjoy. Whether you're single or you have a loved one, have a great Valentine's Day. I love you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.